The next 4 programs are about jobs. In this introductory program, we will go over some important basics, which we will also come back to and re-emphasize in later programs. In the next program, we'll talk about looking for jobs. The following program will be about on-the-job behavior, and the last program in the series will be about advancement. The biggest problem facing people in your situation is a false belief, one that you may have already. I've got a criminal record, so no one will hire me. This is absolutely untrue, and although having been incarcerated will affect the kinds of jobs you can have and can make finding a job more difficult, there are plenty of good jobs available to you and plenty of employers who will hire people who have been incarcerated.
There are jobs out there. There are people out there that will hire people with records. You'll have to find them. It won't be easy, but it is doable. Lots and lots of people with records get out of prison and jails and institutions every day, and most of them that want to go to work, go to work. They don't go to work necessarily the first week, but they do go to work, and it can happen. You have to be willing to ask people for jobs, be able to talk to people about jobs, be able to say, hey, I really want to work, and tell them that you're willing to try, and they can test you if they want. So with determination, you can reach any goal, but every goal takes time.
There are employers out there they don't mind if you've been to prison. They're willing to give you a second chance, but you have to find them.
Businesses out here need people that are willing to work, and that's how you make money. Not only working, but then increasing your skills. And so, you know, it's a tremendous market out here for people that are willing. Not necessarily even skilled folks, but people are willing to be trained, and they're willing to try and willing to put out an effort. And so we look for people like that, and we look for them from anywhere, whether they come from incarceration or whether they come from difficult family backgrounds or whether they've had a hard time in their employment record, which shows up on their resumes. We're still willing to see how it's going to work out, but we do watch them very closely in the beginning in particular.
When I consider hiring somebody who is incarcerated, and really depend on the one-on-one interview that I have with them, I'm really just looking for someone who wants to work. Sometimes they come in very apprehensive, and I'm sure, skeptical that they be hired. In many instances, they are quite desperate. They have been seeking a job. Their parole officers are, putting pressure on them to find work. I'm looking for someone who is honest. They need to be upfront with their past, but also not be ashamed of it. If they have, been incarcerated, they have done their time, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a clean slate when they come in and I hire them.
There are hundreds of thousands of ex-felons employed today, and most people in a business don't understand that they're working next to somebody who is. And so we're sometimes our own worst enemy when we have this thought that we cannot get hired. The reality is, if we're honest, if we're trainable, if we're marketable, we can fit very well into society, especially in today's market. We have to be able to take directions and want to in that particular place and show a lot of enthusiasm. I think being open, honest, and upfront is probably the greatest asset we can do for an employer. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for, I'm innocent, I didn't do that crime. It's where I am today and not where I've been in the past, and it doesn't mean that my past dictates my future. Your future is something that you create today and start today.
When I'm looking to hire somebody, I look for a positive attitude, someone who wants to learn, wants to grow, wants to make some money, and is willing to do whatever it takes to be profitable. My job is to hire the best people to do the job, no matter what they've done in their past.
Next comes the most important aspect of jobs, your attitude. Your attitude is, by far, the most important factor in finding a job, keeping a job, and in being promoted. Your attitude is under your complete control. No one can give it to you, and no one can take it away from you.
They don't have a tattoo on their forehead that says, you know, not this one, or you're not worthy, or there's some problem with you. Being honest, being open, and being sincere, and going after the different things that are there. It will amaze you the amount of actual help there is in all forms.
The biggest thing is going to be the attitude change. It's, oh, pity me, I've been in trouble. I'm a convicted felon. I can't do this. I can't get help for this. I can't get help for that. There's places out there that want to help. There's people out there that want to help. But if you don't want to help yourself and you don't have the right attitude that says, I screwed up, I paid my price, I learned my lesson, now let's get on with the program, then you're just going to keep going right back, and right back.
The thing I think is most important is that you have to understand it's going to take time, and that you have to be willing to ask questions. And when they say, no, there aren't any jobs here today, then your next question is, who else can I talk to? You have to be willing to ask questions. It doesn't illustrate any weakness or anything. That's how people get things done. That's how networks are built. That's why the rich and powerful run together, is because they know how to ask each other for help and for questions and get good answers. So if you want to get help, you want to get ahead, you have to learn how to reach out to other people and ask questions and ask for some help. And when they can give it, great, and when they can't, it's not anything personal. It just means you're asking the wrong person the wrong question. Keep asking.
First, realize that they have to take responsibility for what they did. Second off, try and lose the attitude that they may have. The employer is not interested in that. He's looking for somebody that can do the job, that's qualified to do that job. Secondly, or thirdly, make sure he's honest throughout his time with that person. Let them know what the problems were, explain that they're working to better themselves, and be honest. That's going to get them a lot farther than trying to hide anything. That would be my best advice I can give to anybody.
If you want to change your life, today is the day to do it. Today is the day to do it. Today you can change your life. You don't have to go back to the past, but now you can move to the future, because the past holds nothing. You can't look back at what have happened, but you can only look forward today.
And finally, understanding the importance of your first job after release is crucial. It represents far more than a job. It is the first link in your chain of transition to a better life, and its value in your future life is priceless.
This is my first job after release, and this is important to me because I didn't think when I got out that as soon as I got out, I was gonna get a job. It's been like a month and a half that I just got out, and I came up with a job, you know. But the reason why it's important to me because I'm not only showing myself, but I'm showing society that I want to become somebody, and I want to work. I want to, you know, I want to do something for myself.
Well, your first job after release is very important. Actually, I'm still benefiting today from the first job that I had after release.
When you get out, your first few jobs, or the one job that you get that you move up in, it is pretty much everything, because it's all you have. It's all you got left. That's what everybody is going to base your improvement on. When your parole officer comes in, he's basing everything on your job. Okay, he's improved here, he's been promoted here, he's doing this, and he's doing that. It's all pretty much wrapped up in job, because that's what everybody's looking at. What's he trying to do for himself? They're gauging everything that you do for yourself off your job. Not necessarily how much you make, but basically your performance, your attitude, and how much you put in to your actual job is what they're basing everything off of.
It's really important that you try to focus on getting your first job. And if that's not the perfect job, it helps you become employable, and once you're employed, then other people will say, you know what, I'll take a chance on that person because they've already got a job. So the most important thing when you first get out is just finding a job. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be the job you stay with forever, but if it's a job that can get you started and start to demonstrate for all the other employers that you're responsible, that you've changed, that you can make a commitment, that you can show up for work, then pretty soon you'll have that behind you and it's going to be much easier to find your next job. But you have to be willing to start wherever you can find that first job.